Hey guys, welcome back to the Six Side Calcio Podcast. Today we're not only joined by all four of us for the first time in a while, but we're also joined by a special guest. You may know him for his appearance on the TLN Halftime Show for those of you who are located in Canada. His blogs that he's been posting since the 15th of April back in 2018, or on social media where he's known as Calcio Fan Blogs. I'd like to welcome Joseph Porco onto the podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys. It's a pleasure being here. It seems like you did a lot of research on me, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we want to make sure we know our guests real quick. Joseph, like us, is in the Greater Toronto area, which for those of you who don't know, it's pretty close. It's the GTA in Toronto. So we're very close together. We're hoping to work on some other stuff in the future, maybe watch parties for those of you who are in the area here. And how about Joe, Danny, Francesco? How are you guys? It's been a while.
Yeah, we're doing all good.
Just staying safe. Hopefully everyone is as well. And
yeah. Before we get started, Joseph, you want to talk a little bit about yourself, why you started making the blogs and all that on your account?
Okay, so to start, literally, it was a strike for York University because I was attending York at the time. And I thought to myself, I like Italian soccer, so why don't I make a blog about it? And it literally happened overnight. And it's also to show my passion for Italian soccer as well, which is pretty good.
And we're happy to hear that. Yeah, same with us. So we started more or less in different circumstances, of course, but we both have a passion for soccer, all five of us in here. So it's great to spread calcio, especially in Canada where there's not much places you can get calcio from other than TLN maybe, unless I'm forgetting something. But it's great to get some more cultural awareness around Canada and grow the sport here in North America. I say we talk about quarantine a bit just to start off. What have you been doing, Joseph, at home? Trying to kill time?
Well, I've been doing a couple things. I've been trying to edit my website a little bit because one pet peeve that I had is I didn't know how to include my social media accounts onto my website. And that was like a huge pet peeve of mine, so I was able to figure that out and do that. And just working on my blog as well as learning other skills such as learning how to play a bit of poker, which
Wow, yeah.
That's about it.
It's good to... Oh, Tiger King, how is it? You like it? As a series?
It's hilarious, but it's messed up.
Yeah, some stuff in that. I haven't watched it, but I've heard some stuff about it. Yeah, it seems pretty messed up, but it gets good reviews, so people must be enjoying it. How about Danny, Joe, Francesco? What are you guys doing?
I'll go first. Just the same thing. Just try to keep up with since the NFL is having the draft, free agency, and other news around the league. So I'll just try to keep up with that. Just not much to do because it's limited. Just waking up, working on Six Side, looking at my personal stuff with the NFL, maybe some Serie A news here and there, rumors, and just going to bed. So that's all I've been doing all day.
Going to bed.
Yeah.
Joe, how about
like
you?
a dog. Yeah, my life's been pretty boring lately. I've been on my Instagram 24/7, and when I'm on Instagram, I'm just watching some old Juve highlights. That's pretty much it.
Francesco, how about yourself?
Sounds good. Very similar. I've been getting into the more classic games that UEFA have been showing on UEFA TV. Watching old Juve games, Milan games, whatever Champions League game there is, old World Cup games. Been on Netflix and Disney Plus, just watching movies and TV and playing PlayStation and working on Six Side for a majority of my day.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar to Francesco. I've been watching a lot of classic Roma games, and Joe as well. And also working on fitness. That's something I really prioritized during this quarantine. And that's really it, working on Six Side a lot. And yeah, things are kind of boring, but you got to make the best of what you have. And I think we're all doing a pretty good job of that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Thank you. I say first off, we get into Pogback, because I know might have differentiating opinions here. Joseph, what do you think about Pogba? Would you take him at Juve?
So I would take him, and the reason I would take him is because there's examples on the French national team and when he was at Juve previously, where when he has players around him and there's less pressure on him to be the leader or the best player, he tends to perform well. I think at Manchester United, he has a lot of pressure on him to be the guy, and also he doesn't have the players around him. So I think if he went to Juventus right now and he had, Chiellini, Bonucci behind him, De Ligt, and then at the front he had guys like Ronaldo and Dybala, it would take the pressure off him for sure. So I think he'd succeed.
Great take. And would you prefer someone like a Castrovilli or a Tonali, or would you rather have Pogba over both of them?
I think I definitely Castrovilli's out of the picture. I think he's had one good season, but Juventus is a club where you can't just buy someone because they had one good season. I think Tonali is an up-and-comer, but the problem is I don't know if Juve would play him a lot because I know the last few years they've had a track record of not doing well with young players or not dealing with them well. So I think Pogba or maybe Milinkovic-Savic would be the best option.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I want to see Pogba at Juve. I really like what you said, Joel, stuff about him being the leader. You see in the French national team all the time, he performs well. But it's just at United, he has to be that main guy. It seems like he has to be the goal scorer, the center back, the center mid. He has to be like everywhere. At Juve, he just had to focus on one goal. That was just getting the ball up to the attackers. That's what he does best. We've already seen what he could do at Juve. He's already proven to us what he can do with us. So it'll be, the price is a little too high, but it's already proven. Bringing in a new player is always a risk of if they're going to adapt to the players. Milinkovic-Savic would be good, but then again, it's if he could adapt to playing at Juve at the highest level. We see he could play well with Lazio, but we don't know if he could take that form as Champions League, which is what we really need. We know Pogba can, and he has before. As terms of Tonali, I'm gonna go on a mini rant here. I don't really like Tonali. If he came to Juve, I'd be very disappointed, but I just think he's overhyped. If Tonali never had hair like Pirlo, I don't think anyone would know who he was. I just think that's all it is. Look at Kessié from Milan. When he was in Atalanta with those dreads, everyone was saying he's so good and he had a really good season. Then he shaved those dreads off and went to Milan, and now he's like a ghost. Hopefully he could prove me wrong for the national team, but I just don't see anything special in this guy.
There's our comedic relief.
So, emulating other legends' hairstyles is a curse, I guess.
It seems like it.
Yeah. Or especially when they come from the same national team or the same country as one of them. Say everyone, I swear to you, as an Argentinian, I've seen so many articles about this guy being the next Messi, this guy being the next Messi, this guy. There's 1,000 next Messis that only none of them could be the Messi. It's just weird how people put pressure on these kids who, again, what Francesco said, who nobody knows about, but something unique about them. Oh, this guy's gonna be the next Pirlo. The way he plays and the way he looks like a Pirlo. And it helps that Pirlo also played for Brescia too. So there's another reason why people can probably make the comparison about that.
Yeah, you can see the pressure of resembling another legend or having a similar play style. If any of you guys remember Iturbe, I'm not sure if you do. He came from Verona, went to Roma. Yeah, he was proclaimed as the next Messi, and now he changed nationalities to Paraguay, and he's in the Mexican league. So that didn't turn out too well.
In Serie A.
Yeah, he's no longer Argentine, so that pressure didn't really work out too well.
He's the next Paraguayan Messi.
Joe, what do you think about Pogba coming to Juve, potentially?
Yeah, I hope it happens. Juve have been missing the midfield ever since he left. So the last 5 years, our midfield's been garbage. I feel that if he would come, like Joe said, he has less pressure on him, so he'll perform better. Play with guys like Ronaldo, Dybala, Bonucci and Chiellini. Anybody will play good. So getting Pogba in, I think, is a priority for Juve this summer. We need a big name, especially in the midfield where we lack very much. And like Francesco said, Tonali and Castrovilli, these are not the types of players Juve need right now at the moment. We need guys that are proven on the World Cup stage, the Champions League stage, because right now the Juve has a short window with Ronaldo and all these players getting old like Chiellini, Bonucci. You can even add Buffon in there because he is a locker room chemistry guy that makes the team better. But I hope Pogba comes, and if Pogba doesn't, I hope it's another big name like Milinkovic-Savic or Verratti. But for the moment, I would get Pogba in. I would also add a couple other midfielders in to help him out. But if Pogba does come, that means another big player is going to leave. We might not see Pjanic. We might not see Douglas Costa again. But I think this summer the priority needs to be in the midfield, and Pogba is one name that I hope Juve can have their eyes on.
Well said, guys. It looks like everybody wants Pogba to come back, but by the sounds of it. I think now we can move on to Lautaro. Obviously, you've all seen the headlines. Barcelona are heavily linked with him. He has a $111 million euro release clause. And what do you guys think about that? Should Inter sell him, let him go for that release clause, re-sign him? What do you think Inter should do?
I think Inter should keep him, my opinion. I feel like he's just a type of striker that I don't know if a move to a team like Barcelona, especially because I think they said that he's going to be the Suarez replacement, is the right move for him at this point in his career, because he's only 23 or 22, 23. So he still has a few more years to develop his game in the Serie A. And then maybe once he hits his prime, go to like a team like Barcelona. I just feel like Martinez, I think he'll fit better in the Serie A than he will at Barcelona because of the pressure as well that these guys have. Look at Coutinho. Look at guys like Coutinho, Dembele, Griezmann as well. They had a lot of pressure of them when they moved to a club like Barcelona. And these guys are all older than 22, 23. So for me, except for Dembele, I think he's around that age. Dembele has been injury prone. He hasn't been living up to his potential hype. Coutinho is not even at Barcelona. He's on loan at Bayern now. And he might be on his way out to the Premier League. And Griezmann hasn't been the Griezmann we know of him. So I think Inter should keep Martinez for a couple more years and then potentially sell him if he continues to have like the season he is having this year.
I'm not sure. In my opinion, honestly, if I was Inter, I'd sell him because they brought him in for $30 million. And it's kind of like a high risk, low reward thing. If I was Inter, I would sell him because they got $111 million, plus possibly to sell Icardi, which would probably be 60, 70 million around there.
Yeah.
So that money, that'll be close to 180 million to spend, and you can easily replace Lautaro and bring in more with that money. So I think a smart move by Inter would be to sell him. But Joseph, I'd like to hear what you think about this.
So I think it depends on price. If it's under like 60 or 70 million, I would not sell Lautaro Martinez under any circumstances. But in saying that, if I'm Inter right now, I'm looking at a club like Barca that's interested in Lautaro, and I'm demanding 100 million. I don't care. I'm just demanding whichever amount of money because they're gonna be willing to pay money for whichever player. So you wanna demand as much money as possible for him, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Francesco, what do you think about this whole situation?
I agree with you, and I think Inter should sell him right away. I don't think he's going to be, the next couple of years, I think he's going to be on a slow decline. I just don't think he's going to be doing anything special. To sell him for 100 million now is perfect. You get him out the way. The only reason why he's so good right now is, I believe, is because of Antonio Conte's tactics. I feel like at Barca he's going to be another Griezmann or Dembele or Coutinho. He's not going to be doing anything good, but that's not going to be Inter's problem. They're going to get the check for 100 million, 111 million, or even possible. I heard it was going to be a swap with Griezmann.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. As me as a Juve fan, I'd love to see that happen. I would love to see that Carnival dancer perform in Serie A, get him exposed in there.
Oh my God!
Wow. Come true. But as Inter, I would sell him 100%, whether it's a swap deal or just money, because there's so many strikers in the world that they could buy Haaland. There's so many just strikers in the world that can do a better job or the same job as Lautaro for cheaper.
Is Haaland going to be cheaper than Lautaro, though? That's a big question.
Yeah,
that's a
I think
good question.
I read some reports too that Inter could be potentially looking at a Rakitic swap deal as well for Martinez.
I'd keep Martinez.
I'd be in there.
Yeah, Joe, what do you think about that?
I'd keep Martinez because right now, with Conte, Lukaku, it's a perfect partnership. They're getting what needs to be done. They're getting the goals. He's still young and they still have Mario Icardi on loan, so they could sell Icardi for that 70, 80 million, invest in the positions where they need, and I think they need another midfielder like a Savage type. Invest in that. Keep Lautaro and Lukaku because I think that they're the best partnership in Serie A. Them two.
Yeah.
And invest in the midfield and get some more depth in, and then Inter can have a good team. There's no use of selling a player that you don't even need to sell because of the money. He's doing good. He's young. He's exactly the type of player any team needs, not only in Serie A but in the world. And he performs well with Lukaku, so you don't need to sell him. You have Icardi still that you could sell for 80 million, 90 million too, and then you could just invest that money into other players that Inter need to compete with the best in the world.
Yeah, no, I agree. And for me, I feel like if you sell Icardi and stuff, who's been trouble for Inter in the past, sell him to a new team, get the money, and then bring in replacements because you have guys like Godin who could potentially be leaving Inter. So you gotta somewhat replace him with buy a younger product, get a left back who could play every game because Ashley Young he's getting up there in age and he won't be able to play every game. And also get a right back who's been proven in the past and stuff. And also Inter need a goalie because Handanovic is 35 and he's been injured half the year. So imagine next season when he's a year older.
Yeah.
And the injury concern as well. So I think Inter could use the money from Icardi to buy little pieces here and there so they can upgrade their squad. And I think they should just keep Martinez as well. And just focus on other parts of the team, and except for the partnership between Martinez and Lukaku.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well said. And bouncing off the Icardi talks, we brought his name up there. Juve have been linked to Milik, and would you guys take Milik as a Juventino, or would you take someone else like an Icardi? Joseph, you can start this one.
Well, first of all, for me, I don't personally think we need a striker unless Higuain is for sure going to leave. So I'm not a big fan of this move, and who knows if Milik will perform, because like we were mentioning earlier, as much as Napoli is a great club, Juve is an even bigger club, so he'll have a lot more pressure to perform, and will he be able to do that? It's kind of unproven at such a club such as Juve.
Yes, that's very true. Francesco, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump in. I don't really care. If Higuain leaves, then we're gonna need a backup striker. Obviously, I'd much rather see a Mandzukic return to the club, even though it's probably not gonna happen. But if obviously you want to say I want the Icardi, I want the Werner, the Gabriel Jesus. But at the end of the day, if we want to be going for this Pogba, we're not gonna be having the funds to buy an Icardi and a Pogba. I just don't see the funds allocating themselves nicely for those two players on the same transfer window. So if we have to get a cheaper player like Malik just for a backup striker, perfectly fine with it. I don't think he's going to perform well at Juve. I mean, at Napoli on the big stages, he tends to choke and miss when he's needed, but he gets decent numbers at Napoli, which is good. But he's not going to be playing a lot. He's going to be playing Coppa Italia games, the odd Serie A game here and there, just giving until Dybala and Ronaldo some rest. But yeah, if getting Malik instead of Icardi means getting Pogba, I'm all for it.
And just to jump in here, I think that Juve should prioritize getting a central midfielder and a right back.
I agree.
Never mind a striker or a right winger for now. Just focus on a right back
100%.
and a central midfielder. And everything else is not a priority at this point, for me anyways.
Yeah, that center mid has been crucial since 2015.
Yeah. For me as a Napoli fan, I know, let me just jump in quick. I know for Napoli, for Milik getting linked, his agent did come out yesterday stating that these are rumors of him leaving the club, especially going to Juventus. They're just rumors, and it's also disrespect towards Napoli. That's what his agents were saying. But for me, if just thinking about it, I don't think Milik to Juve is a good move, especially for Milik, because he's not a Juve type quality player, and he does miss a lot of chances, and he's basically the way Higuain is, and I don't think Juve would need to replace Higuain. And if they do, they should just get a younger up and coming striker who has a lot of potential to grow and become a superstar, instead of a guy who's 25, 26 that could potentially start in a few sides in Serie A and could potentially start even elsewhere if he leaves. And I just don't think it's a good move for Milik if Juve do decide to pursue him. But I think it's just a rumor, regardless.
Joel, let you jump in here. Would you take Milik at Juve or someone else? Or you need a striker?
Yeah, I agree with what Joel said. Right now we don't need a striker. What we need is a big class midfield and a right back, because ever since Cancelo left, the right backs, they've been shaky some games. Some games are doing good. We need a solid right back that knows how to do the job. We also, if Higuain does leave, then we don't need a guy like Icardi to come in. We have Ronaldo, Dybala that could perform at the top. We just needed someone on the bench, and if it was up to me, I would bring in Cavani for Juve. Free transfer. He's at that age now where he could come off the bench. He could play in the Coppa Italia games. He could substitute at the right moment. I would bring him in. See how he does. Because once you get a player like Pogba, you're not going to spend another 100 million on an attacker, unless you're selling a couple of big names like Costa, Pjanic, and then you're just dismantling the team just to get something that you don't need. So right now, if I'm Juve, I would go after just get Pogba, just get a solid right back, build around them, and if a good offer comes for a striker, I would pinch for it. But at the moment, there's no need to spend 200 million on two players, especially on a striker where we have Ronaldo that could score at any time, and he's still performing at the highest level. So if I'm Juve right now, don't go for a striker. Make the midfield the priority. And if we do need a striker, to get someone cheap and to get someone that could come off the bench and could perform at the highest ability.
Yeah. Why don't you just get Llorente then?
Llorente.
Get Llorente, bring him back.
Bring him back.
Yeah, bring him back.
We don't need him no more.
Juve fans love Llorente, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I used to think Llorente was like, guy, scored 2 goals against Lecce and 1 against Liverpool and hasn't done anything since.
Even Morata is like a low-key Juve legend. I know Francesco's not a big fan of Morata, but...
No, I'm not a big fan of Morata. I didn't like his later end in a Juve jersey. I'm glad he's gone. I was celebrating when Madrid activated his release clause, and now look at him, he's running on the bench at Atletico Madrid.
I thought he was at Chelsea. I didn't even.
Yeah, didn't he go to Chelsea?
Yeah, no, but then he went to
Chelsea.
He went back. Oh yeah, he went back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a nightmare for him in the past recent years.
Well, he did score against Liverpool in the extra time. So
Yeah.
It seems like he comes up clutch in the Champions League. So.
Yeah, no, he does actually. Give him that. The clutch guy.
We'll give him that. Now moving on, and we brought up Lautaro before. Who is in your opinion on it, obviously, under 23 player in the Serie A, who has the most potential? I'll say it like that. Who has the most potential in your opinion out of all the under 23 players in the league? Joseph, you can start.
I know I'm gonna say Sandro Tonali just because I think his ceiling is high and he's already shown he can be a good regista, possibly. Not Pirlo's caliber, but I think he has a lot of potential. And I also like Zaniolo.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce off that. Zaniolo, in my opinion, has the highest ceiling and potential because, in my opinion, at such a young age, he's already had a doppietta, which means 2 goals in Italian in the Champions League knockout stage. He has such a great base. He's almost 6'4". He's long. He's fast. He has skills. He has a lot of stamina. Tracks back a lot. He works hard. I think Zaniolo's, in my opinion, he's above everyone else that's under 23. I'm probably being biased because I'm a Roma fan, but I just think Zaniolo is levels above everyone else. Danny, what do you think?
Are we doing just like Italian or are we doing like the whole league?
The whole league, under 23.
The whole league? You know what? I'll give it to Zaniolo. I just think every time I watch him play, he's just incredible to watch. Kind of reminds me of like the way like Totti used to play and stuff. And he has like that physical edge and he's got speed with the ball. He does stuff like I'm just in shock that a kid his age can do. And it's just, he's a really bright talent. Unfortunately for the injury. So hopefully he comes back stronger, but I think for me, Zaniolo is going to be the bright spot of Serie A in a few years, like in the next up and coming years, and also for the Italian national team.
And also, can I jump in with something?
Yeah.
Can I jump in with So, I think that Zaniolo, unlike a certain player at Fiorentina, can actually make some good moves on people and can actually do these moves, and he's not a diver like this young player at Fiorentina that is overhyped.
We're going to get right into that right after this. I want to hear your opinions on Chiesa here. I know some people have some strong opinions here. Joe, who do you think has the most potential?
The most potential is Matthijs de Ligt. He's won the Golden Boy Award as the best under 20 player in the world. He captained Ajax to almost a Champions League final at such a young age, at age 19. He's come into a defense like Juve's with Chiellini, Bonucci, and he's done a wonderful job so far under the circumstance that he was really just pushed in after Chiellini got injured after one game. He's been really shutting it down with Bonucci so far, and he has a great future ahead of him. Hopefully he stays at Juve for a long time. He's only 20 years old, and he looks like he's been playing for over 20 years, and I'm excited that he plays for my team.
Yeah,
Francesco,
I agree with Joe in a way. For me, I think the best player under 23 is Zaniolo. But just to change it up, because we've been talking about Zaniolo, I think there's no one on Zaniolo's level to compare. But if I were to compare, it'd be either De Ligt or Bentancur. From what I've watched, both players have been really good. Bentancur this season has been our best midfielder by far. And it goes to show that his potential is high for this club, and maybe him and Porco partnership would be something incredible to watch. Maybe reinvent that 2015 midfield in a way. And De Ligt, like Joe said, it's like he's been playing for 20 years. The experience, the confidence in this guy is amazing, and let's hope that he continues it up. The later ends of his games this season has been incredible. He had a few shitty games at the start of the season, but those are behind him, and now he's been really good. So let's just hope all these players could age well.
And I just want to jump back to the Chiesa comments from Porco. So Joseph, what do you think about Chiesa? Just go into a little bit more detail on him as a player.
So first of all, I'm going to be blunt here and say he's overrated by far. So that's the first thing I'll say. And then the other things is I think he's a good player, but his problem is he tries to do too much. He tries to do all these tricks, and he tries to be like a Neymar or something, but he's not even close to that caliber. But I think he can be good, but I think he has to be more efficient. He has to be more efficient. He can't just, he has to pass more. I think he's a bit of a ball hog too. I think he has to be just more efficient, more practical. And don't worry about making that extra move. Just get past defenders with your speed. Don't try all these fancy tricks. And I think if he does that, he'll be fine. But for now, he's overrated, at least in my view.
Wow. No, I agree with what you said there. I think Chiesa has the ability, for sure. He has the ability to be great. I feel like sometimes he may watch his own YouTube highlights. I want to make more. And when I watch him play, he seems to beat a defender, go back and try and beat him again. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
His shooting ability, he has the power, he has the accuracy, but sometimes he's too ambitious with his efforts. So I think he could be good, but right now, I agree. On his current trajectory, he's overrated. My bad. Danny, what do you think?
I would, for me, right now, I know he's only, pretty sure he's 20, right? 19, 20?
No, he's 23. He's 23.
23.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's Orsolini's age and has less stats. Okay.
Oh wow. I thought he was like 20, so 20, 21. Wow. But for me, I agree with you guys. I wouldn't call him overrated just yet. I still think he's got room to grow. Again, like he's got to work on like just seeing the field, passing well, instead of doing it himself, because soccer is not just a you sport, it's a team sport. And if he starts connecting with teammates, starts getting that assist that everyone wants him to get, beat the opponents with your speed, and don't do like these fancy Neymar skills, because opponents are gonna get mad and then they're just gonna take the ball off of you, or they're gonna end up kicking you to the floor. So, I feel like he has a lot of room to grow, Chiesa, and I like him as a player personally. And I feel like the way he plays, he's a good energizer, and I liked his speed and his hustle and stuff. I just think, I think we can all agree he has to work on his ability to pass the ball more and to not worry about himself, but worry about helping the team and helping other players play the game properly.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us are saying he's a bad player either. Yeah.
No. I'm gonna jump in here. You spoke to Sweden, so I think Chiesa is the product of a factory over here. If you look at Bernardeschi and you look at Chiesa, it's like they cut and pasted Bernardeschi onto Chiesa and made him slightly worse. I think he's the exact same. If he went to a big team, which is his dream, I think his dream is to go to Juve. He's gonna do nothing. He's gonna be like a Bernardeschi. We're gonna eat him out and spin him back out to say a B team. He's had all these years to prove himself, and he just hasn't. Everyone said when Bernardeschi left Fiorentina that Chiesa is going to be that one man who's going to make the difference at Fiorentina, and he's gotten worse since Bernardeschi left. So in terms of Juve, I don't want to see him anywhere near us. He's Bernardeschi. He's literally Bernardeschi 2.0. He's gonna do nothing but sit on the bench and win the trophies just to put on his stat sheet, but that's it. As for Fiorentina, he just hasn't been doing anything special. He started off really well this season, and it's just like every season, he starts off really well and then he disappears for 6 months. So I think he needs to be more consistent than anything. He needs to get off YouTube, stop watching Neymar highlights, stop watching Ronaldinho highlights, and just play the game, just train, listen to what the coach is telling him, and just do the simple things.
Yeah, and can I just say, by no means, I'm not saying he's a bad player. We can all agree he's an above-average player, right? Or that?
I think he's a good player.
I would call him. He's par. He's at par. He's just average.
I'd say he's above average. I'm just saying that he's not what people are making him out to be. He's not the next Del Piero or whatever you want to call him.
Not even close.
He's just a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's not a bad player. Well, Joseph, I don't know if you agree with that.
Interrupt quickly.
I agree with that.
Fred, he also, Chiesa also did suffer a bad injury this year too, so that he missed a little bit of time. So I guess I think he came back before the season was on hold. He came back and he wasn't himself, but I think that's just him trying to get back into the game shape as well.
One thing I'll point out about Chiesa is that I like the way he tracks back. I think his defensive abilities are actually pretty good. So I think he's got that part down, but I think, like you said, the offensive parts of his games need to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think it comes down to decision making at the end of the day when he has the ball.
It's like the same way with Insigne. When Insigne tracks back and stuff, a lot of people don't realize, because I know he's a smaller guy, so he can't body off the guy, but he wins the ball back a lot, good when he tracks back and stuff. His offensive ability, for me, it could be better, but I think Insigne's defensive ability is honestly, it's for what his size is, it's honestly really good. And that's what I see in Chiesa too, the way Chiesa plays. And his defensive ability, when he comes back, he gets the ball, wins it, and brings it up. When he brings up the ball, it's like he has tunnel vision. He doesn't know where his teammates are, and he sees the goal for himself, not, say, swaying it to the striker or giving it to the other guys, giving it to the midfield. He just sees him. He thinks he's the number one guy on Fiorentina. That's what I think he sees himself as. I think if Fiorentina wants to improve, they need another guy to come in and help Chiesa, in my opinion.
Wasn't that supposed to be Ribéry, though? Wasn't he supposed to come in and be a leader? But that ship sailed.
There's so many players who come in and supposed to be doing something or have a certain role in the team and just don't achieve it and don't work out. But I feel like, actually, honestly, I do think Chiesa can be a leader, because I've heard a few interviews at halftime, especially after that game where they murdered us 7-1 last year. I wanted to cry, but I heard him at halftime, and he was saying, he was just telling his team, it's not over yet, microphones picked it up. So I do think he's a great leader. I just think he's a silent leader more than anything.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here, and I don't think I think he could be a leader if he stays at Fiorentina. If he's going to go to Juve, that leadership quality, it's out the window, it's gone, and he's just going to be like another black sheep in the Juventus dressing room. But if he stays at Fiorentina, I definitely think that he could be a leader for Fiorentina, 100%.
Yeah, I think he can be a leader. Yeah.
Juventus, Buffon, CR7, Dybala, they're all going to say, the kids are listen, go get my coffee every day. Go get my espresso.
100%.
Sorry, go get my cigarettes every day, Chiesa. Okay.
He's going to be like a little errand boy.
Now, moving on to a fun one. We've all made our own Serie A starting 11. If you made 23 players on the team, correct? You have 23 prepared? Yeah.
Yes.
Right, there you go. I guess we'll start off. We'll leave you for last because you got a whole 23 list, so that'll be good. I guess also, let me just pull it up. All right, so I went for a 4-3-3. I have in net Juan Musso. Left back, I have Gosens. Center back, I have Kumbula from Verona, who's been very good this year. And Chris Smalling, who I did not expect to be this good. I had a feeling he'd do well, but not this well. Right back, in my opinion, he's been fantastic. Faroni from Verona. He's been so good. At the two CDM spots, I have Castrovilli and Locatelli. I know it's not a popular opinion. I know Joseph, you're not the biggest fan of Castrovilli. He hasn't proved himself yet, but based off this season alone, I think he's been really good. He has a good work rate, so I put him in there. Locatelli is someone who really shocked me, obviously, when he was first at Milan.
Here, Enzo.
Yeah. He scored that goal against Juve, the bar down, and everyone said, oh, he's the next this, that, Pirlo. But I think his real role is as a CDM and a ball winner, and he's been doing a great job with that. His passing has been incredible this season, so I had to put Locatelli in there. At Cam, I have Ilicic, who, in my opinion, has actually been very good for a couple seasons now. He's been a very strong player, and this year in Champions League, Serie A, he's been doing it all, so I had to put him in there. Zaniolo, although he got injured, I think from September to January was enough time for me to put him in here. Zaniolo speaks for himself. He does what he has to do. His work rate is incredible. His dribbling is something that really improved off of last year. He can beat multiple defenders at once. And Ronaldo speaks for itself. I put Ronaldo at the striker spot. And Jeremy Boga, I put a left wing. I think he's such an underrated player. He's so good with the ball. He can pass. He can shoot. His work rate's immense. He's such a good player, and I think someone really needs to pick him up if he doesn't go back to Chelsea. So, because they do own him.
Yeah.
I guess Dan, you can go next.
Okay, so for mine, I'm gonna have a little bit of my players are out of position, but not too much. So I went with a 4-3-1-2. So the two strikers I have are Immobile and Lukaku, just because they're top of the goal scoring and they're also been playing well for their clubs. At Cam, I have Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo and he speaks for himself. My midfield, I have Ilicic, who's been really impressive this year. I got in my other midfield, more of the center mid role, I have João Pedro, who's been a really standout player for Cali this year. For us, I know we used to joke about him, he was our inside joke at the beginning of the season. And I think he heard our podcast because he's been proving us wrong this year. So he's been having a really good year. And also Luis Alberto I have in my midfield. He just has an eye for the assist, like that final pass, and either to Immobile or Caicedo. My left back, I have Hernandez. Center backs, I have Chris Smalling, which is a last-minute change. And I also have Alessio Romagnoli, who, for me, has been one of the best center backs in the league, especially at Milan because they don't have, the best defense. And he's been one of the guys that stands out to me. For right back, I have Di Lorenzo because, for me, I think he can arguably be Napoli's best player this year. And also arguably probably the best right back in Italy. And in net, I went for the biggest shocker, I think, in this team of the season. I went for Silvestri and the Verona keeper. Because for me, Verona's been a team that they're a sleeper team, and he's a really big part of it as well. He makes some big saves. He makes a lot of good goalkeeping decisions, and he also has one of the best save to goal ratios in the league. So that's my team of the season.
Alright,
Francesco, you can
jump
hop
right
in.
in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I went with a similar 4-3-3 style here. In net, I have Wojciech Szczesny. Left back, I had Gosens. My two center backs, I had Bonucci and Chris Smalling. For me, Smalling's been the best defender in Serie A this season. Right back, I have Juan Cuadrado. He's just really surprised me in that role this season. My midfield, I have Rodrigo Bentancur, Nicolo Zaniolo, and Luis Alberto. I think Alberto's been Lazio's best player this season. It's very underrated for what he's been doing. And then my attack is Ronaldo, Ilicic, and Ciro Immobile.
Joe, who did you put in your team?
Yeah, I have same formation as Francesco, 4-3-3. And then I have Handanovic. He saved Inter multiple times, especially when Juve were 1 point behind him and we were going back and forth. Every time I watched Inter, he would always save them at the end. Right back, I got Faroni. And the center back pairing, I got De Vrij from Inter and Acerbi from Lazio. I feel that for De Vrij, it was a very big season for him. I think he's been Inter's best defender all season. And he's been very hard to break. Same goes for Acerbi. I think coming in and where he was 5 years ago and where he is now, I think he's one of the best and most underrated defenders in Serie A. For left back, I got Hernandez from Milan, first year in Italy, and I think he's the best left back in the Serie A. Not only the goals he scores, but the way he can pass the ball into the box. Very good left back to have on your team. For the three midfielders, I have Savic from Lazio, Brozovic from Inter, and Luis Alberto. Brozovic really, if he's not there, Inter don't look the same. And he's been a very good defensive midfielder for them this season. For Savic, I think this was his breakout year. He was good before, but now he just looks to be a great midfield for Lazio. And Luis Alberto, the top assist leader in Serie A. I feel this is another year where he's come out of his shell, and he's been a very great player for Lazio this season. For the three attackers, I put Ilicic. He's been one of the best players in Serie A for the last couple of seasons, but this season he's on a different level. He could score goals, he could assist, he could take free kicks, he's really a complete player. Playing for a team like Atalanta, he doesn't get the credit he deserves, but I think he's one of the best, not only in Serie A, but in the world at the moment. For striker, Ciro Immobile, he's leading the league in goals, and that pretty much speaks for itself. And for the left wing, I put Ronaldo. He's been top form for Juve this season. Just like last season, we can only rely on him on goals. And for the big moments, he always shows up for us. And yeah, pretty much my Serie A team of the season so far.
All right, Joseph, best for last. Let's hear it. Actually, Francesco, did you go yet?
No, I went.
Oh, you went? Okay.
Okay,
sure.
so for my starting 11, I went with 4-3-1-2. So the goalkeeper, I picked Donnarumma. I think this season, like the other seasons, he's been the most consistent goalkeeper. And then I picked Inter's two best center backs in De Vrij and Skriniar to start. I think they've been hasn't been the issue, that's for sure, with those two at the back. I've picked Lazzari at the right back position because I think he's been one of the most underrated players this season in Serie A, and he's really been important for Lazio. I think he's a big reason why they've been so successful this season. Then at the left back position, I picked Gosens. I just like him. I don't know why. And then Brozovic I picked because he's probably been Inter's best midfielder this season. He can pass the ball pretty good. He's also very good on the defensive end. And then I picked Milinkovic-Savic and Luis Alberto because I feel like they've had a really good season, and any back line do not like playing them because they have so much speed. They're so great at playmaking and just stuff like that. And then I picked Dybala at the cam position because Dybala's been superb this season. He's been I guess you could call him the playmaker of Juve this season. He's been distributing good balls like crazy to the forwards. I also picked CR7 because, of course, he's been scoring like crazy this season. And then Immobile because he's scoring uncontrollably. And then for my subs, I picked Medet and Handanovic as my backup goalkeepers. Medet because for Napoli, I think he's been solid and he's been arguably the best goalkeeper with Donnarumma for a lot of people. Then Handanovic, of course, I think he's saved Inter a lot. And then of course on the defensive end, I picked Atapur as a backup, Bonucci and Acerbi, and then Teo Hernandez. And then in the midfield, I picked Tonali, Barella, Pellegrini. And then as a cam, I picked Papu Gomez. And then the two backup strikers I picked were Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez. And that's my whole squad.
That's a great team right there. Nobody I really disagree with. We all had pretty good teams. Put a little spin on it. I know I went for the more underrated approach with Locatelli and Castrovilli.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think we can wrap it all up now. We spoke about a lot here. We're about 45 minutes in, 46. Yeah, it was very enjoyable, Joseph. We loved having you on. We'll make sure we have you on more often. Let the people know your social media, where they can find you.
Okay, so on Twitter, you can find me at CalcioFanBlogs1. On Facebook, my page is called CalcioFanBlog. And then my Instagram is at CalcioFanBlogs. And then also my website is calciofanblogs.com.
There you go. Make sure you go check that out, guys. Yeah, all the links will be in the description. So if you guys want to go see his blog, his social media, give it a click and you'll go right to it. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up. You can find us at 6@Calcio on both Instagram and Twitter. That'll be all. Thank you for listening and ciao ragazzi.
Thank you for having me on, by the way. Ciao.
Giovane fuori classe, plaza campione come Ronaldo. Scemo mi stavo solo allenando, se ora sono cazzi sono sceso in campo. 10 palle nelle barre, dalle stalle ma alle stelle. Coi reati nelle palle, cicatrici sulla pelle.